Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. How are you doing?
I'm good. No problem, of course. No problem at all.
So let's start this off a little bit. Tell everyone a little bit about you.
Okay, my name's Lily Pedracki. I'm from the suburbs of Chicago. I work for Campus Inc. I'm a student designer. I'm at the University of Georgia. I'm going to be a junior in the fall. I'm a marketing major there. I love it. It's been a lot of fun. Working with Campus Inc. has been a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, got a brother, got a dog. Not much more to me.
So tell me about school and Greek life, all of that. So tell us where you're at school. So you're gonna be a junior, yes. And are you in sorority?
Yes. So I'm in Alpha Delta Pi at Georgia. It's an 80 Pi. It's a lot of fun, a lot of really good friends in there, a lot of out of state girls like me. So it's been good. It's been a lot of
How's it
fun.
going in Georgia?
Pardon?
Is it really different being in Georgia rather
Yeah,
than
it's a lot different than up here. The southern hospitality is definitely a real thing. It's a lot of fun though. The people down there are great. I love all my friends. I love everyone at the university. It's been a lot of fun. COVID obviously altered a lot of stuff, but we made do with what we could. So, but yeah, being in a sorority down there is a lot of fun.
So tell me a little bit about how you got involved in Campus Inc.
Okay, so I have always been interested. Obviously, I'm a marketing major, so I've always been interested in like sales and design and things like that. In high school, I ran the high school Instagram account, so I did a lot of graphics for them. And anyways, I was like always interested in it, and I never knew where to start or where to go with that.
Did you run?
The Red Devil Nation one.
Oh, I did not know you did that.
Yeah, I did that my junior and then a little bit of my senior year. Yeah.
Wait, weren't you on yearbook?
No, I wasn't on yearbook. I was on student council. So
yeah.
I did a lot of that stuff. So I would like help do graphics for like all of like the like prom or like all of the fundraisers that we were doing or the events and the back to school bashes and stuff like that. So I definitely was interested in the design aspect of things. So then going to Georgia, and having that idea in my head, like, oh yeah, I definitely want to do some type of advertising or marketing or something else. So having to like pick a major wasn't too difficult for me. So I was super lucky in that aspect. But with Campus Inc., my friend Sophie, you know Sophie, at Iowa, she was the one who had started doing it over there. She did it for Kappa, which is the sorority you're in. And she was like, you would love this. Like, let me like refer you. Let me get you involved in all of this. And I was super interested. So I applied, I got it, and I've loved it since then. It's been a lot of fun. I've been a part of Campus Inc. since right around Christmas time. So only about 6 months, but it's been fun.
So how was your semester with Campus Inc? One, what were your different orders? And two, what was your favorite?
Okay, so obviously getting started at Georgia, it's a lot more difficult. It's a tight ship run down there, especially with sororities. So I wanted to start in the sorority with orders, but we have a merch chair and a t-shirt chair. So stepping on their toes wasn't something that I really wanted to get involved in, but my roommate was the merch chair. So she was the one who did all of like the fun orders, like the sweatpants and the sweatsuits and the stuff that wasn't for events. So I definitely reached out to her. I was like, hey, like, I'm going to get going on some of these ideas. So one of the ones that I had planned to do, you'll hear what happens, but there were freshmen that were doing a powder puff. It was not affiliated with the sorority, but it happened to be 80 Pies versus Thetas. And they were going to do it at the intramural fields. So I like designed t-shirts for them and was getting ready to submit them for orders. And I had one of the girls on exec email me and she was like, you know, I know you're doing these orders, which is great. But with that, they got in a lot of trouble for having the event on university property. So she was like, you know what? Don't do the order. I know you worked really hard on it, but don't do it. But I still love the design. I think it was great. Right. I've been working on just practicing designs mostly, especially like some stuff for summer. I've done this Gucci sweatshirt, which was it said Gucci inside of it. And then it said Beverly Hills, California with an exclamation point at the bottom, but I had it done 80 pie and then
Was it the cherries? The cherries?
Yeah, it was 2 cherries. It was super cool. That one, that was cool. My powder puff one was my favorite one I had done. That was super cool. It was like Jack Daniels inspired on the back. It had the like same outline and stuff like that, but it had the sororities and a football in the middle.
Why wasn't it allowed to be on campus?
Since it wasn't a sorority affiliated event, they didn't like rent out the IM fields, and then people were getting mad about people not wearing masks during all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it got reported to the university, and then obviously they probably shouldn't have been doing it in the first place, but they kind of did it without letting the older girls know. So that would be the freshmen for you.
How do you think it was recruiting virtually in 2020?
It was a lot harder being on this side of Rush, especially. It was just it was hard because none of us had ever experienced that before, so no one knew what they were doing. It was a lot of practice, and it was also so much trial and error. Like you'd jump into the wrong Zoom link and you'd be sitting there and they'd be like, Lily, you're in the wrong Zoom link because that's the time before or whatever. But I mean, trial and error, you always learn how to do everything. And now that we have that under our belt, it's nice to know how to navigate it.
It's such a better experience doing it in person, 100%.
It is. It really is.
You can't.
But I mean, there's always those things that like the pandemic. I mean, things come along and you realize, oh wow, we have to really like totally rewrite this, like totally reformulate how we're going to do everything. And it's a testing experience, but at the end of the day, it brings everyone together to kind of figure out what you can do to make it work and like come together as a team, which I always find.
I would say the incoming freshmen are in a much better boat than the incoming sophomores because, you know, I would really dislike to be the age of the gonna be
me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they got their senior year. They got that wiped from them. Or like the most important fun parts of senior year, like the senior spring break and the prom and the spring sports and like all of that. And then they got a half experienced freshman year at a lot of universities. Georgia's second semester definitely was at like 85-90%. Like we were almost there. So blessing for me in that sense, but I just hope that those kids who are at those other, I know a lot of kids like couldn't, like the freshman dorms they were supposed to move into, like one of the girls I know who's at Georgetown, she couldn't move in. So then they had to get an apartment and then they did end up opening it up. It was a nightmare, but.
So how would you say you balance your time at school with Campus Inc? Like, would you say it's a hard job to have to be a part of, or like, is it easy to balance your time? Tell me about it.
So I don't take a ton of classes just because I came in with a good bit of credits. So I'm taking about 4 or 5 classes a semester. So 12 to 15 hours. So that's a decent amount of classwork. I have a retail job that I work in person in downtown Athens, and that's about 3 or 4 days a week, about 2 or 3 hours a day. I do Campus Inc on top of that, and then I also do Bumble, which is
tell me about Bumble.
Bumble's cool. It's
my roommate last year was a Bumble honey, and she loved it.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, it's a lot of promoting. It's definitely with COVID. I was talking to Claire Owens because she does it at University of Illinois. It's a lot harder this year with it being virtual, just because it's a lot of virtual events, and a lot of people have a hard time wanting to join these random virtual events. So promoting it was definitely easy, but the aspect of engaging with other people was hard just because you weren't in person. But I love it. I thought it was great. I did it both. You do it by semester. I did it first semester of this past year, and then I did it last semester, and it was awesome. And I'm probably going to do it again in the fall. So, but it's been awesome. So balancing all of that though.
You're doing a lot that helps align with your major of marketing.
Yeah. So, I mean, Bumble is all about promoting and creating infographics and doing a lot of media stuff, which obviously marketing, you either take the sales route or you take the media route. I love talking to people. I love making sales. I love doing that for Campus Inc. I also love the media aspect, and I know that media is only going to keep growing from here. It's just going to become bigger and bigger. So it's one of those things where I'm able to do Bumble, which is the media aspect. I'm able to do Campus Inc., which is both. And then I'm able to do
And
both at my job in Athens too.
Job is sales, obviously, too.
Yeah. So I work for it's actually really cool. It's a consignment company.
Nice.
And so they do designer bags. So we have like Chanel's and Birkins and
called like the Real?
It's like the Real but better. So
okay, cool. What's it called?
It's called Agora Vintage. We just hit 50,000 followers on Instagram, but it's like this teeny little shop in Athens. There's only like 6 of us who work there, including my boss, but it's like, it was the biggest blessing. I found it freshman year. And I started working there. So I've been working there for 2 years now.
Can they give you discounts?
Like they can, as much as not on like the really expensive bags, but they do vintage clothing too, which is super cool.
Wait, that's a really cool place to work.
Yeah, it's been a really great experience. I've learned a lot about all of like the vintage stuff, which I knew nothing about, and also handbags. I knew nothing about designer, and now I could go on for hours about it, which is just like such a cool experience that not a lot of people get to. Like a lot of retail people are like, oh yeah, I sold clothes in a store, and I'm like, no, I sell Birkin bags, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Dang, Athens must be a really cool place.
It is. It's super progressive, but it's got like a ton of different types of people there, which I like personally, because obviously after college the goal is to move back to Chicago. I've loved Athens, but it's not suitable for a out of college job. It's a college town, so it's not big enough.
From Atlanta.
It's about an hour and a half from Atlanta, so it's not bad. No, not bad at all. But I love Chicago so much, so it's hard to part from that. I mean, I'll land where I land, but at the end of the day, I probably
nice for having experience away from it, because you're always going to come back.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew I had 4 years to do whatever I wanted. Not whatever I wanted, but virtually
to like go and do your thing.
Yeah, like experience a different, I guess, like culture. I guess, yeah, it's a culture shock when you go down there. Experience different culture, experience different types of people, and they're fabulous, and I love them, and it's such a cool experience down there. But I loved having to keep my home life separate from my college life, just for the matter of it not getting messy. It's been great.
I feel that, because going to Iowa, I feel like my home and school life a lot of times goes like this, because like a lot of my friends are from the suburbs, but I still love it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Anything else you want to add, Lily? I had so much fun chatting with you.
Oh my God, it's been so fun. I don't know. I guess I could say if anyone ever wants to join Campus Inc., reach out to us, because it's a fun time.
It's a great side thing to do, like whenever you have the time, design, and you can get money for it.
Yeah, put in as much as you get out, really, is like the big mantra I'd say with them.
Exactly. That's a great quote.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Lily. So good to chat with you.
Yeah, good chatting with you.
Afternoon.
See you.
Bye.